Hello there. Hope you're having a great day. This is Decentrahype. My name is Hamilton. I'm joined by my brother Chester. And today we're going to be talking to you guys about some very, very important things on the Bitcoin chart. One of which is a hash ribbon signal, which we haven't had in a few months. And these are typically really, really massive, beautiful, reliable, long-term investment signals. So we are going to be watching that over this week, and we'll be explaining everything about it in this stream as well. But before that, I believe Chester wants to do some short-term for you guys. So how's it going, Chester? You good over there?
Good, all good. Bitcoin's been quite interesting over the last few days or so. It's been pretty volatile, right? Pretty crazy stuff. So yeah, I'm going to be starting off with BTC on the short-term time frame, on the hourly. Then I'm going to go across to the mid-term, the 4-hour, and then Hamilton the Crypto is going to be touching on the longer term. And as he said a second ago, a load of hash ribbon stuff. Very interesting results to be going through there as well. Like we did say in the Telegram community, I'm going to go back probably a couple of years or so and show you guys what we're sort of looking for here on the Bitcoin charts and what actually this hash ribbon signal means. Very interesting stuff. So starting off, just going to get through the boring nitty gritty TA of what we're looking for in terms of day trades. So I'm just going to open up my short-term chart, and this is what I've been looking for recently, guys. This is what I've been looking for recently. And we're going to start off here on the daily. Everything working correctly? Yep, all good. Almost left him muted again. Yeah, I should do some shout outs straight away. Leader Crypto, we got Donna, we got Here Optimist, we've got Bonnie and Stitch, and also myself in the chat. Good stuff. Now, talking about Bitcoin here on the hourly, guys, as you can see, we did see this double bottom scenario coming through. I was talking about this in the Telegram community. I'm not sure if you guys spotted this as well, but yeah, lovely double bottom coming down from that insanely powerful dump to the downside that we did see literally like 4 days ago or something like that, right? Insanely powerful. Double bottom usually means some sort of pullback, guys, some sort of bit more bullish momentum after seeing that massive crash. So the actual measure move for this was something along the lines of this, like so, and then we basically bring that to the neckline here of this double bottom, and basically we're aiming for prices of around 22k, right? That was sort of in line with the 0.382 Fibonacci retracement there. So very crucial stuff there. Didn't quite get there, unfortunately. I did go long, and we did see this candle body close above the volume weighted ATR, and I made a couple of percent there. Nothing too crazy. Obviously, you know how you guys know how I trade. I stagger my take profits continuously. Once I hit my first take profit, and my stop loss to my entry point, and that way it's a completely risk-free trade, right? Once I hit my first take profit. So that basically happened. We banged it up, and I basically left my position after seeing this filthy candle coming through from here. Right, I thought we were going to see some sort of gravestone doji candle or something like that. So yeah, I basically got out after seeing this bearish momentum coming down. The push to the downside basically was indicating that we were going to see continuation, right? Continuation to the downside and bearish momentum, and that's essentially what we have seen coming through into today, also yesterday as well. So that double bottom is basically gone now, guys. So yeah, unlucky if you didn't get involved with that. Unlucky if you didn't get involved with that. But the new chart pattern we're actually looking for here is going to be some sort of range like so, right? The support on the lower side that we're looking for is looking like this. And over the last it was the last hour. Okay, yeah, the last hour and 4 minutes here, we did actually come down and we did actually test this level of support with a lot of support in terms of confidence to the upside, right? Very interesting stuff because we did actually get the candle body close above the volume weighted ATR band here, and after seeing such a significant move to the downside, after claiming it, coming down, testing it again, this usually tends to mean a potential bounce, guys. This usually tends to mean a potential bounce, and also it is a candle body close on the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement as well, which we know that's going to be acting as support. So to be honest with you, right now it is looking like we are going to see probably a small term minor bounce, right? And that probably might just be as small as 21,275, something along those lines in terms of that price. As you can see, we do have heavy resistance along this area, even up to 21,329. So these are really crucial areas to be looking out for there, guys. If this isn't going to happen, it's absolutely fine if it doesn't. We're going to be making money either way, okay? The mesh move to the downside, the breakdown that we could be looking for here is going to be something along the lines of this. I mean, on the midterm time frame, we do have the potential for a horrific bullish divergence to come through. So we will go into that in a second. But this is essentially what we could be looking for here if we are going to see Bitcoin dump, okay? And the prices that I do want to see us break, it is going to be the most current lows that we've got coming through here from that previous double bottom as just previously discussed, and that is going to be 20,723. But as I said, Fibonacci retracement there, volume weighted CTR band there as well. So there's quite a lot of levels of support we need to really be taking into consideration. In terms of the measure move down, guys, in terms of percentages there, 4% on the table to be taken, but we need to actually take into account the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement, and that is going to be an area for a level of support as well. So I'm going to be taking profit there if I end up going short, okay? Now, from there, we could probably be looking at, I mean, the volume doesn't really seem to be trending down at all. We are seeing actually quite nice spikes, quite healthy spikes of volume for trading action for Bitcoin. In terms of uh, divergences right now, not seeing that much, at this point in time. We're all still in line. We're probably in line to break this low on the RSI for the hourly if this is going to happen. So that's pretty much not that great information. But the one thing we can be looking for is being that oversold scenario when we do cross that 30 level here on the RSI. Very, 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 very basic stuff there. Now, Fibonacci, done that. Let's do some MACD, macadamia nut. We have just had a very, very strong, bearish crossover to the downside here on the MACD, and this trend does not look like it is fizzling out anytime soon, right? It's going to be interesting to see where this next level here in the next hour, whether we are going to see the downtrend fizzle out, and that's when we're going to be looking for that bullish crossover, okay? But yeah, that's maybe the short-term time frame, guys. That's sort of what I'm looking for there in terms of the measure move down. If we don't have a measure move down and we stay inside of this range, if we stay inside of this chart pattern, that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. Right now, probably not going to be getting involved with any sort of coiled up trades in here because you can see the coiled up momentum here. It's consolidating in these areas too much to really actually make any really nice solid trades here. But yeah, that's the position I would be looking for there if we are going to break down. Now let's move to the midterm time frame here and let's see what we're looking for on the midterm, right? Let's start off with this. As you can see, rising parallel channel, guys. Breakdown looking pretty good indeed. Okay, the measure move for this, I probably would just be doing something along the lines of this, right? Going on the most recent downtrend. We could do something like the other side, but yeah, it's not going to be the nicest measure move in the world. But the measure move that we could be looking for here is going to be down to 19,862, which would be continuation of the trend here. It would be breaking market structure because we would be breaking the most recent higher low, which is currently sat around 20,672. Very crucial if we break that, guys, because we do have the volume weighted ATR band there as well on the 4 hour. This is obviously huge for support, okay? It's absolutely huge for support. So we really need to be taking this into consideration. If we lose it, God help Bitcoin, okay? God help Bitcoin, okay? If we do lose it, it's not going to be great stuff indeed. And to be honest, with the things that we're going to go through in terms of the hash ribbon very shortly, we usually do see some sort of pullback coming through, some sort of trap. And with how many YouTubers and stuff are really showcasing this this indicator that we're going to be talking about, it's very, 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 very likely for a whale to really throw the price down. I would not be surprised at all, right? But yeah, we'll go through our plan on that shortly. But you can see the range again that we're looking for here. It is going to be to around 20,745. There is a daily candle body close. I do want to. I'm not going to talk about that actually. Hammy will probably go through that. Yeah, in terms of the measure move down, we've also got Fibonacci retracement 0.236 is going to be an area for a take profit if we do lose the volume weighted ATR band as well. In terms of VPVR, nothing really that great here on the midterm time frame. I did have it on the, I think I had it on the long-term time frame, but yeah, there is still a level of support here to be looking out for there. In terms of moving averages here, in terms of the WOB machine, guys, when we do see a significant move like this is where it's a bit choppy for me, right? Because hold on, my laptop's gone a bit mental. Right. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Sorry, click the wrong button on my keyboard and just things flashing up everywhere. Right. So yeah, what was I saying there? So yeah, with the WOD machine, guys, after seeing such a significant dump, we usually come and test this price action channel. We usually do, right? And in terms of the test of resistance right now, we've tested the 10 simple here. There you go. The point of control on the VPVR has just appeared pretty much at around 21,300, 21,400 for simplicity's sake. But back to moving averages for now. Definitely area for resistance to be looking out for there. But yeah, 10 simple here. We're looking at we tested that in terms of resistance, found the support there, had that filthy Darth Maul candle that Hammy says there, and basically found the rejection from there, and tested the 21 EMA as well, right? So crucial areas because after seeing a significant dump, we usually test the price action channel, right? So this, in terms of a price for that, it's around 22K. So that's definitely something to be looking out for there if we do see this bullish divergence playing out here on the RSI. Right now, the low to break here in terms of the price is around 20,800. In terms of the RSI, we're still significantly far away from that. We really, really are. If we have one little wave down to the volume weighted ATR band, for example, we are going to be seeing some sort of a bullish divergence coming through. So really, really expect to bounce at around 20,500, 600, that sort of area, okay? That's what I really would be looking for. And in terms of referencing our short-term time frame here for this potential long, this is definitely something we can be taking into consideration here for a potential take profit if we are going to be using this, right? And that's going to be around here, okay? So this is definitely an area to be looking out for there. Maybe first take profit and then move your stop loss to entry, because I would really, really, really probably predict a nice bounce around this area. But yeah, that's probably what I'm going to be. I'll probably round it off there in terms of the TA. Not really that much that we can be looking for here. I would expect just a bit of consolidation right now, just after seeing such a volatile few days here for Bitcoin. And yeah, seeing some pretty crazy price action. I would say the measure move again in terms of percentages is going to be something along the lines of a 12% move to the downside. Okay, very interesting stuff. Please be careful here, guys. It could be very trappy indeed. Are you ready to go on hash ribbons, Hammy, and do the long term for Bitcoin?
Sure am. What would you say your ultimate summary prediction is here before we do get this kicked off?
Right now, I probably would expect a trap to the upside, and then continuation to the downside, right? Just because we are fairly bearish overall, and after seeing such a confidence knock for Bitcoin over the last few days or so, it's been pretty horrific. And I know a lot of people are sort of shaking in their boots, right? The only bit of hope that I would be referencing here is going to be the hash ribbon signal. This could flip a lot more people bullish, and yeah, it's something that we are going to be going into. But in terms of a summary, as I said, I'm still looking for a trade here on the short-term time frame if we can get it, but I really just would expect a bounce at 20,500. In terms of like continuation of the trend, I would expect downside for now.
Okay, right. Let's jump in. Great point of view, by the way. I'm actually, well, I guess you're talking more about the kind of 4 hour downwards, right? For me, I'm looking at the daily. I'm looking at the weekly right now, and I think what's quite likely is what you're saying, which would be potentially a bounce here to begin with, and then some continuation dump, right? And oh, that ain't it. And what I'm really expecting on the daily side is actually the opposite. What I'm really expecting here, and call me crazy for this because this isn't a popular opinion, but because of this hash ribbon signal, which we'll get into in a minute, this is something that is ridiculously accurate over long periods of time. So what I can expect here, as you say, right, is a bit of a pullback, a bit of a dump down here to these lower levels, maybe even lower than 20k. I would even target as low as potentially 18.6, that kind of area, before actually banging it towards the upside. If that does happen, I'm expecting a bit more of like a V-shaped recovery in that area. And there are a few reasons for that. We could be drawing measure moves, all of that good stuff, but the trend is typically down right now. We got all this stuff happening in China. We got a lot of things happening throughout the world, which can lead to most major markets getting horrific dumps, right? And Bitcoin will be anchored by that to some degree. But what we found from the COVID crash, and we can actually go back there and see, is that actually Bitcoin was one of the first assets to rebound. It rebounded one of the hardest, and then it went 17x from that point. No other asset did that. So what can we expect this time around if we get serious world financial trouble coming through? Probably something similar, where people lose all of their faith in most assets. They want to be in cash, right? And then they decide, hey, what is the best hedge against this disaster of the economy that we are entering into, right? And that typically ends up being Bitcoin, based on obviously the last one with COVID, right? So let's jump into hash ribbons. I did just want to highlight again, I'm not sure if you mentioned this, I was kind of zoned out, but we've got the volume weighted ATR band here on the lower side, which I talked about in my last video here, which was essentially me saying, hey, I am expecting some kind of support to come through between 20k and about basically where we are right now, so 21.5 and 20k to really begin a bounce from that point. But we can go lower than that, don't get me wrong. But the main star of the show, the main star of this stream right now will be hash ribbon. So let me just walk you through what this is, how it works, and why it works so well as well. Okay, so what we can see here is Bitstamp. These are pretty old patterns. Let me just get rid of these. Because I switched to Bitstamp, so we got more data here, because the Bybit one only kind of comes around 2018, right? So we want a bit more data there to really confirm what's going on. So anyway, right, if we're looking at this, let me just get rid of the WOD machine really quick and really stop this convoluted area that we're looking at here. There we go. Beautiful stuff. So at the bottom here, we've got hash ribbons, and you can see here with hash ribbons, it looks kind of messy, but what we've got here, this jagged, very volatile green line is the raw hash rate. What that means is the power going into Bitcoin, how much power is going into mining Bitcoin, right? The hash rate of it, essentially, right? So with that being massively towards the upside here, and we'll get into a bit of a con here as well, because this isn't actually technically confirmed. Yes, we've got buy signal. Yes, this is very, very accurate, and I'm not sure if the strategy tester will show this right now, what we got here. You can see here of the last 12 trades, 66% accurate, but ridiculous profit factor. If you are familiar with strategies, this is ridiculous. And then we got obviously this profit chart as well. Very, very good in terms of investment trades as well. And again, with these investment trades, you've got to be expecting big drawdown. Don't just bang in 100x, because you will just get absolutely obliterated. So yeah, just be careful with that one. But if we are looking at this, and I'm just going to explain how it works, we've got the raw hash rate, right? And then we've got the moving averages of those raw hash rates, right? So of the raw hash rate, and we can see when typically with a lot of Bitcoin and trading strategies, when moving averages cross towards the upside, and just kind of a shout out to the golden cross strategy, I'm sure you're all aware of that, right? This is essentially the same thing. When these cross towards the upside, it's a massive indication that we could potentially be entering a serious bullish wave. And let's just go back through the data and show that here, right? So one thing I do just want to say before we get into this is we have a very specific strategy for this. It does say close position here. We did not close the position there. Okay, we close our position based on the bull market barrier. Again, both of these indicators are completely free on TradingView. Okay, you can get this one on my profile, Bitcoin Beats, on TradingView, right? And then I'm on the right tab, right? Yeah. Cool. And then the bull market barrier by a friend of mine called Firefly, a very good guy, very smart guy, and he basically coded this up to basically give us a long-term little sprinkle of Fibonacci with some Bollinger Bands, and yeah, it's proven to be a massive area. Again, bull market barrier, right? It's in the name. It's the barrier to the bull market, and if we get over it, we go into a bull market. If we hit it and we're in a bear market, it's typically an area where you want to be taking a lot of profit, right? So with that said and done, let's talk about the previous signals here. The most recent one wasn't actually fantastic, but again, with this bull market barrier being so close, you wouldn't expect it to be a massive move anyway. But we can see here from this long signal, we can see yes, 4% here all the way up to that. And I mean, you could have made examples from this as well and brought this up if you would like, but that's probably actually one of the worst examples of this trade. That it just gets better and better the further you go back here. So again, if you're above the bull market barrier here and you get a long signal, what you're going to do is look for basically the bull market to run. And we did this, right? If you follow my channel, let's just get rid of this for a second, right? If you follow my channel and you've been following it for the past few years, you will know I got in a lot of positions here. And it wasn't just with Bitcoin, because obviously the simple common sense way to think about this is, hey, if Bitcoin is in a massive bull run, what are you going to go and buy? You're going to buy a lot of altcoins with a lot of potential, right? So that's exactly what we did here. We banged it up with Bitcoin. We made a lot of money. And then we also made like 600, 700% on a lot of our altcoins, Solana, DOT, all of these ones that just banged it in the last bull run, just based on this signal in itself. So this is why it's so important to be watching this thing. And again, completely free, probably one of the best indicators on TradingView for you to trade for the long term. And I know a lot of you guys are short-term traders, but this is actually a good sign of short-term trading and scalping becoming more valuable and more easy to predict if we are in a bull market as well, right? So if we do get that uptrend, fantastic stuff. And let me just show you what this looks like on the hash ribbons as well. So again, crossing towards the upside for the long signals, that essentially means, hey, more power is going into mining Bitcoin. The mining industry is expanding. Therefore, Bitcoin is scaling as a network. Therefore, if you think of it in a business perspective, that business would be worth more. Hence Bitcoin's price being worth more. It's just a pretty simple logic to really kind of explain this and why it works. A lot of people will just, again, draw lines and all of that stuff. And yeah, that can work. Fibonacci, all of these are beautiful rules that the kind of signal for trades. And again, we use a lot of these, but this is very explainable. This is very predictable, and it just works. Okay, it just works. So that's that. And you can see here, just closing that bad boy. And this actually closed as we would close it anyway, hitting that bull market barrier from the other side. And if we go back further here, after the COVID crash, where everyone was literally going mental, trying not to kind of find crazy shorts or whatever here, and everyone thought the world was going to implode, as the media wants you to think, right? And yeah, we can see here that yeah, another long signal there. Take profit, the bull market barrier, 31%. Another one here, 13%. Beautiful stuff here coming through. The one before the COVID crash, 42%. This is just insane gains here, just from buying some Bitcoin and making your money. I mean, no bank would ever offer you anything like this, right? This is insane. So again, going further back, 2019, this was the absolute bottom of the bear market, like very, very close to it. And we can see here, I do just zoom in so you guys can see it a little bit easier here. We can see that, yeah, 223% up to that bull market barrier. Fantastic stuff. And yeah, the other thing I wanted to show you guys here as well, and this is another just ridiculous example, right? I don't expect Bitcoin to go on a run like this again for a while, okay? But I mean, look, 2000%. Why are you crying? This is amazing. This is amazing. So yeah, besides that, if we go further back to the beginnings of Bitcoin's history, obviously it's not going to be calibrated so well this far back, and it doesn't need to be, right? We don't really care about this so much, and this would be very volatile time for hash rate as well. Again, the mining industry for Bitcoin was beginning. So again, just backing this up with logic, looking at the inconsistencies of the data and justifying them with very plausible justifications as well, right? So that's cool. And then yeah, ever since Bitcoin became kind of mainstream, so to say, yes, these signals have been absolutely fantastic, and it's definitely one that me and Chester are watching right now for an absolutely monumental run up to potentially, and this is what you really want to see here, guys. This is what you really want to see. This is where the FOMO tingles come in. Are you ready? Here we go. We've got 166% or 164% up to that bull market barrier. And if we are just looking at prices right now, and again, we're not long yet, and I'll explain why. But if we are looking at this, the FOMO tingles, I got to use that again. But yeah, we can see here $55,000 for a Bitcoin. Do I think we get that high? I think it's possible. I don't think it's going to be overnight, of course. And I do think it's definitely a time to be watching the entirety of the global markets as well as this, because we could begin a run and then everything goes mental on the China side of things, right? Obviously, you know, the real estate crisis over there and all of that stuff, right? So if that does kind of bring the rest of the markets down, then yes, this signal will be less valid. But what I am saying is once we can confirm this, as we'll talk about in a minute, it's going to be absolutely amazing, not just for this long-term investment trade, but for swing trades along the way, patterns along the way. They're going to become way more predictable. And yeah, hopefully this does play out in this direction. But again, I'm not just going to be banging in all of my money into this. That would not be smart as a trader. Obviously, you've got to manage your FOMO, you've got to manage your risk. And yeah, I'll be playing this as I play all the time anyway, right? With logic and with good risk management and good mindset as well as that. So that's kind of hash ribbons in a nutshell. And if we are going to look at the kind of negatives of this right now, because if we do want to go over, let me just make this big. I think this works. Yeah, I figured out how to do this now. But yeah, we can see here that it's technically long or beginning to go long on the daily, right? But what I will say here, the reason why this isn't long just yet is because obviously hash ribbons went long over the weekend, and CME, which is this exchange, the more important one, the one where all the institutions trade, this is going to be the data you really want to be looking at for the long term, and this has not gone long yet. So this is why we are kind of hesitant. We want to wait to see what the dump is, not to mention we have a ridiculous measure move towards the downside here, which again 18.1, so 18.1, 18.2, similar to my prediction here. Again, 18.6 is kind of what I'm expecting. But yeah, I mean, if that does come into fruition, that's another reason to wait, right? So we'll see how this kind of develops over the week. But yeah, it's a good start. And yeah, it's not even long on a 12-hour yet, as you can see here. So what we really need to do for the next 3 or 4 days to really confirm this signal and not just go blindly long based on what I've just talked about, right? What we really need to confirm this is for this raw hash rate to stay up and cross these moving averages, beginning with a daily, right? And then from that point, we'll be looking very, very bullish and a lot better here as well. So yeah, just be aware of this. We could get one last absolutely destructive death wick towards the ground. And then what I will be looking for, and what I believe Chester will be looking for as well here, is essentially some kind of break of very, very important resistance along the way as well. So this is going to be the kind of tick boxes that you're going to be after, right? You're going to be wanting the CME, so just take a note of this as well, right? BTC1 exclamation mark is the CME code, right? Or the ticker, I should say. And yeah, when that goes long on a 12-hour, that's your first sign. hey, potentially we could be beginning some kind of upward trend. And then what I'm going to be looking for is a break of important resistance. And ideally, we can get a break of like 25K. If we break this high, this is probably going to be a great time to get in, to be honest, because we've got a nice air pocket here anyway, so we could probably find some trades towards the upside. But until that time, I just want to be careful, and I do just want to stress this again for you guys. Just don't bang in longs just yet, okay? We want to confirm this. We want to wait for this. We want to make sure it's not a trap, and we need CME to really confirm that as well. So once that happens, it's going to be fantastic, and then we're going to look for a horizontal to break. I know you're probably thinking, but Hamilton, I'll be missing out on 20% here if I do that. Yes, okay, but you're more likely to lose if you are thinking in that direction, okay? So what I would say here is, yes, just wait, be patient. There is potentially a light around the corner here, so we need to just wait, let it emerge, let it kind of spawn into existence, and then we can take advantage of it. And yeah, get the monies. That's the plan.
Yeah, so great explanation there. And yeah, you are totally right. That's pretty much what I'm looking for in terms of like hash ribbons in general. I'm just going to jump into BTC on the daily and go through key resistance areas that I'd be looking for that break to the upside as well. And then once we've gone through that, I believe we're going to do some altcoin requests. If you guys want to bang some altcoin requests in the chat, that sounds really good to me. And also, guys, if you're enjoying the content, make sure you smash a like on that, because obviously we are a new channel. It does help us out tremendously in terms of the algorithm. You know, it's pretty hard out here these days. So yeah, we do appreciate that. And if you do, again, like the content, then we do stream Monday, Wednesday, and we have a Thursday night trade-off where we go head-to-head and we trade against each other with some spinning wheels, some leverage wheels. It's great fun stuff. So yeah, you can look forward to that if you are enjoying the content as well. Now, moving across to Bitcoin again on the daily, actually, because as Hamilton was just saying there, key levels to really be looking out for there. I do just want to touch on Fibonacci's swing low here, where we actually seen the swing low from the bottom of the bear market at 17,627. That's very, very crucial. If we break that to the downside, with the way that this downward sloping resistance line has been formed continuously here for Bitcoin on the daily here, then if we break the most current swing low, then this is a very, very key area to be looking for that move up. And then obviously we do have these horrific levels that we are looking for at the moment. But yeah, the real crucial area I would say is going to be the 0.236 Fibonacci retracement across the whole of this macro trend, right? Across the whole of this macro trend. If we can get above that, we're going to be above the VPVR there. We're going to be literally challenging the most recent lower high here. It's going to be very, very crucial in terms of prices for that. As Hammy was just saying there, around 25K, 24.4, that sort of area up from there. Very, very crucial. So I just wanted to reiterate that's sort of the area that I'm really looking for there. And when that does come into fruition there, you can see from the moving averages here, let me get rid of the VPVR for a second here. You can see just generally from the moving averages here, we've got a hell of a lot of space, okay? A hell of a lot of space for the 200 EMA and SMA to actually come down, okay? And that's literally freedom Las Vegas in terms of a potential pump here. Okay, so yeah, this is sort of what we're looking for here when we do see that confirmation of breaking that resistance. Yeah, I think that's pretty much Bitcoin covered. I think we lost Hammy there. Pretty much Bitcoin covered, but just gonna go into some altcoins now. So I see you guys smashing your altcoins and requests in the chat. All good stuff there. I think ADA is leading at the moment here. So I'm gonna jump into ADA quickly. I think. Let me just share this tab instead. Yeah, I'm gonna jump into ADA quickly. I don't know what's happened to TradingView at the moment. Like all my all my flags have disappeared and all the logos have gone as well. So yeah, sort out TradingView. But yeah, let's do some TA on ADA and see what we're actually looking at here, because ADA has actually taken a significant dump recently, obviously due to the whole crypto markets in general. But one of the key things that I do just want to reiterate here is we are breaking market structure in terms of higher lows, guys. We've broken that higher low, which is obviously not great stuff, okay? Key areas to be looking out for there, if we do see any sort of bounce on the level of support, which we're currently sat at around 44 cents there, I would say probably 46 cents, 48 cents. Very key areas to be looking out for here, guys. We did see a bit of a doji star candle coming through on the lower side here, which obviously means uncertainty in the direction of the market right here after seeing a significant dump. So this could mean continuation to the downside if we lose this level of support here for ADA on the daily, and that is going to be around 44 cents, okay? The low point to really be looking out for there is going to be the next point here, where we have seen us tap back in May, obviously the horrific dump in May, and then also recently back in July. Okay, so the real area to really be looking out for there, if we break 40 cents, then I would be looking for pivot point lows here. Okay, the pivot point lows is going to be 38 cents and also 36 cents. So just please keep your eyes on that. And to be honest with you, I'm pretty disappointed in ADA because I thought ADA was going to start behaving on its own a little bit, like we did see with the Bitcoin dominance behaving in that certain when we saw XRP and ADA sort of doing their own thing a bit. So yeah, pretty disappointed that ADA has really just taken that big hit. I thought the army was a bit stronger than that. Okay, but yeah, in terms of, let's jump down to some shorter term timeframes and really see what we're working with here. In terms of chart patterns, I haven't really got any TA on this right away, but in terms of trend lines, just going to be banging in something along the lines of that, and probably just going to be finding that low like that, right? And then this is going to be something probably descending triangle, guys, looking like this. Obviously, it's not the most attractive chart pattern in the world, but this would be a descending triangle if this is going to form out in the future. So the measure move for this quite early on in that chart pattern will be something along the lines of this, right? Will be something along the lines of this. If we are going to head down again with the state of BTC and everything like that, I really would not rule this out. And that is going to be 6.72% to the downside. Couple of pivot points in terms of take profits there. We do have one on the current low here. That's around 43 cents. And then another one on around 42.66. Very crucial areas to be looking out for there. In terms of the last 4 or 5 hours, it's just been absolutely horrific, right? It's been absolutely horrific. So I probably would expect some sort of pullback. We broke the bull market, not the bull market barrier, the volume weighted ATR band there to the downside. We're testing this level of support. So to be honest with you, I probably would expect a little bit more momentum to the upside coming up, testing this volume weighted ATR band in terms of resistance there, and then coming back down for setting some sort of micro lower high. Okay, so that's sort of what I would be looking at for ADA. I'm just seeing if I can bring up the RSI and stuff like that. Right. Yeah, getting pretty oversold here on the RSI. So that's another factor to be looking out for there. And also, we are going to be looking for this crucial break here, which we have just seen. Okay, we have just seen. Let's look, see if we've got any divergences coming through there. Let's see. No, it's all pretty much lined up. So we can't really be using that as data there. Maybe something a bit earlier on, but yeah, nothing that congruent at the moment. But in terms of a chart pattern breakdown, I would be looking for this sort of move around 6.72%. Do you want to do a request, Hammy?
Yeah, just looking at Gala right now. Gala. I don't know.
Gala.
Gala. All right, yeah, we'll check that out. Let me just bring this up. Here we go. Eventually, we do want to have this all in-house and like set up all production value, like not on a Google Meets, obviously, and then have everything going into one computer and have a producer and everything. But still pretty early days here. We're still trying to figure this out, what works, what doesn't, and what you guys like as well is super important. So yes, let's jump into this chart right now. I will start off with a daily just so we can see how this looks. And yeah, looks like trash, looks terrible. Why is it? Why? But yeah, we can see this, that it's kind of broken some kind of resistances here from this downtrend, which is fairly progressive. What I would say here is this is an absolutely disgusting dump. I want it to stop, please. Really, really dirty. But yeah, I mean, I can draw a few patterns here, none of which are amazing. I would probably lean to more towards this as it's parallel, but it's really just a range, right? It's not really slanted enough to really pay too much attention to anyway, right? So if we are looking at this and we're going to say, hey, yes, we've got a point here, we've got a point here, we've got a point here and here. What can we say here? If we do take a leg down, this could get very, very nasty. And obviously, I know some people will probably hold this coin, so it's not too bad. Okay, it's not too bad. I would just say, hey, if we can get over these kind of very, very crucial pivot points here up at 0.07, 0.071, that kind of area, then it's going to be way, way better, way more bullish. And I would actually expect us to get potentially even as high as 10 cents from that point. So yeah, looking a bit better in terms of after a huge, massive dump, right? And an absolute walk down into the ground. But again, this isn't something that's amazing right now. Don't be caught into the, what was that coin? I forget it now. I've seen so many of these coins. It's ICP, Computer Network or something. That coin, everyone was buying that all the way down. And it's I was telling everyone every stream, I was streaming every day. I was saying, don't do it. Wait for some uptrends to form. Wait to break resistances. If we're making lower highs, why are you going to buy? Okay, it doesn't make sense. But if we are going to look for a potential measure move on a short here towards the downside, if that is what you are interested in, and with an asset like this as well, despite bullishness, despite everything, despite what they're doing, and I've seen the project, it looks pretty good. Okay, this is still a massive walk down, and this is something that I wouldn't be expecting to stop unless we do actually make a higher high coming through here. So until that happens, I have to be a little bit more bearish. But what I will say is it's not the end of the world, particularly if this Bitcoin kind of goes well as well. I wanted to show you this before I do. Actually, no, we'll just finish up on this Gala, and then I'll show you that because that's a bit more relevant to Bitcoin as well. But yeah, we can see here. I'd probably get in a trade here around the 0.043 as we lose this low here. Is that all-time lows? It's for Bybit anyway. So yeah, if we lose this low here, I'd be looking for a short down to point. So a short down from 0.043 down to 0.033. I hate these point O's. It's just it's pain. It's pain to say. But yeah, we can see here that it's not the end of the world right now. Yeah, if we do actually make a higher low here, there will be a measure move towards the upside. So this is what we are really going to be looking at right now. So if we can see this, we can see, hey, this would be the most recent wave. Let's say we do kind of bottom out around 0.048. And yeah, we do actually break that 0.72. Then yeah, I would say, yeah, you could even extend targets up to around where I'm saying here, right? Which is another way towards the upside, about 10 cents. And then if you do find that long, what I'd be looking for initially is to break this area. So again, 0.073. And then if it was something along the lines of this, right, I would want to see a high form wherever that high is. Okay, don't just bang it along if that happens, because it can be a trap, right? But what I would say here is if we do find a high around this area above this, what I'd be looking for is the retest. And then as we break that more recent high, then that's the time that I would personally take along in my own edge anyway, right? I know a lot of people trade very, very differently and all of that good stuff, but me being 6 years in this market right now and really I kind of know how crypto behaves. This is what I find works best. Again, you don't have to copy me, but this is essentially it, right? Besides that, let's actually jump in to the bit stamps here for Bitcoin. You can see here, this probably looks a little bit jarring, but we can see our most recent run up, right? We can see the retest on the bull market barrier. We can see us coming down as well. But what are these purple lines, I hear you say? These are essentially the profitability of mining Bitcoin. So yes, if we are underneath this purple line, then, and I've got to make sure I get this right here. What do we got? Which one's the purple line again? Yeah, so it's the total cost of mining a Bitcoin. So yeah, this would be electricity plus production costs and all of that good stuff as well. So this is all charted on here, and it's very good. It's actually free as well on TradingView. I like to mainly use free indicators so I can show you guys and you can get them on your chart as well, right? So right now, basically the short story here is that it's not profitable currently to mine Bitcoin, and yes, there is going to be price fluctuations, and some people will maybe find their production cost down here or whatever. But if we are below this purple line, it's typically a bad sign, and it's typically something that we want to be watching. And what do you know? Bob's your uncle. That's around 26.7, which is kind of close to what we were saying with this high anyway, which is around the 25k area. So if we do get above this, I think it's going to be fantastic, and I think this is going to be a great sign that the market's scaling again. And we could start going into a bit more of a bull run. But yeah, back to Gala here. I did just want to show you guys an hourly for those of you guys that are a little bit more on the scalpy side. We can see here, yeah, we formed a pretty decent little range here around 0.4, 0.049 or 0.05. And yeah, I would say as long as we are in this range, I wouldn't be too scared or too worried anyway. And to be honest, as long as we're above this trend line that we kind of plotted out on the higher time frame, it's okay to really just take your hand off the wheel here and let this do its thing before eyeing up any trades. And again, this is more for scalpers, but yeah, I mean, you can draw patterns all you want on these lower time frames for altcoins, but just be aware there's a lot more traps. The patterns do often work, as we find out a lot of the time, but it's something that is going to have a lot less profitability over time because there is more variance, right? So that is going to be that. Do you have another little coin there, Chester? You want to do?
Yes, sir. I've got I see in the chat, I saw a request for KDA from Arjun there. So I'm going to jump onto KDA and do some TA on that to see what we could be looking for.
He's not wrong.
The next areas coming through from there. Let's Let's have a little look here for KDA. So starting off here on the 1 hour chart here, guys, as you can see for KDA, we do have an ascending triangle just screaming at us. Usually, this tends to usually be a bullish sign. An ascending triangle, it does show higher lows being set here and a massive, massive level of resistance here at the top, which usually we do break to the upside, right? Unfortunately, we're in a horrific bear market. So when we do see ascending triangles forming at the bottom of these downtrends, the likelihood of us breaking up, it's getting ever so more unlikely there, especially completing serious measure moves there. So what have we seen here from there? We've seen a pretty strong breakdown, okay? In terms of a coiled up chart pattern, this is the sort of measure move if you're not greedy. If you're not greedy and managing your risk efficiently, if you will. It's around a 3.12% to the downside in terms of the measure move, okay? So that is the measure move that has technically been completed. If you are greedy, if you like an all-you-can-eat buffet here, this is the measure move you would be going for instead. I know it's greedy. I don't ever trade these. Literally ever. It's just absolutely ridiculous here. There's like made 10 times more money in my trading career trading small measure moves and being completely reserved than trading these all-you-can-eat buffet measure moves coming through from here, right? Now, as you can see, this does, unfortunately, perfectly line up with the volume-weighted ATR band, right? We know that we do find some sort of level of support here on this bad boy here on the hourly. Quite a lot, right? Let me see if I can find some data here. As you can see, we do like to see support on this bad boy a significant amount of time. So it's definitely something that we cannot be ignoring here, especially at the bottom of a measure move. If you are short on KDA and you're praying for the floor here, 10% on the table to be taken. In terms of horizontals to be looking out for there, I would say this current low here around 1.54 would be a significant take profit if I was short here on ADA, KDA. And then another thing to be looking out for there, depending on the rate of how quick we drop here, referencing the RSI, there is potential for a bullish divergence as well. So this is definitely something I really would be studying here, just to see whether this is going to come into fruition and whether this is going to plan out. What you're waiting for here is to break the low on the RSI or break the low in terms of the price. If you break which one first, then you are going to see a potential bullish divergence coming through, potentially like that or potentially like that, right? Those are the key areas I really would be looking out for there. In terms of what we're seeing here for KDA, overall, I would be bearish, right? I really would be bearish right now. You're breaking market structure here. You're breaking higher lows. I probably would expect to come up very gradually, have a test of the price action channel, test a major moving averages, which are coiled up. And we know what happens when moving averages are coiled up, guys. There's usually a big move, right? There's usually some sort of huge move in the volume. So that's definitely something to be looking out for there. In terms of the current candle, could be a doji star candle that does show uncertainty in the chart in terms of the trend right now after seeing this pump. So we're probably going to see continuation of the downside if we do see a doji there. Now, also, as I said, in terms of price testing to the upside here for the micro higher low continuation of this micro trend, this is sort of the price I would be looking for, around 1.65, 1.67, that sort of area, okay? And from there, I probably would just expect continuation. Yeah, it's pretty much KDA covered here on the hourly. I don't think we've got any more requests. Oh, we've got Algo coming through. Maybe I should have a look at Algo quickly. Unless you want to jump on Algo, Hammy, it's up to you.
Do you want to do it?
Yeah, I can do Algo. I mean, I haven't done any TA on it, but I can, I'm sure. I'm sure I can just quickly whip it up. Yeah, well, that's an arrow. Okay, starting off here on Algo, I'm just going to do the hourly here, guys. I can see straight away that we're going to be looking for some sort of trend lines like so. Going to try and get as many touches as possible, usually from candle bodies. That's sort of the ideal sort of scenario. So we've definitely got as many touches there in terms of wicks, candle bodies there, looking pretty good. And in terms of what we're going to do and to equate for what we've got here in terms of slippage over this trend line here, we're going to be drawing another little trap zone scenario coming through from here. So if we are going to be looking at shorting this market, we know that we can still bounce here in terms of support here. So we've got two levels of support, one coming through like so, another one coming through like so again. Now, as you know, it's called a trap zone for a reason. Usually it's a no trade zone, unless for me, unless we're on like a daily chart, if we're in like a really large swing position, then I would just be using that trap zone area for a potential take profit, right? So for example, short, first take profit on the trap zone, right? That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, in terms of what we're looking for here, falling parallel channel, guys. Falling parallel channels tend to usually break to the upside. So in terms of measure move to the upside for this bad boy, we could be looking at something along the lines of this, going on the most recent uptrend like so. with that being said, if we do see a break to the upside here, we will be above all major moving averages here. We will reclaim the volume weighted ATR band, which is going to be bullish there. And then a percentage on the table to be taken is around 3.89%. Not too shabby indeed. In terms of horizontals, I would be banging in a horizontal there in terms of actually, no, scrap that. Not going to bang in a horizontal there. I'm going to bang in a big box, right? Because you can see that we do have a few wicks to the top side and then multiple levels of consolidation in this area as well. So in terms of where I want my candle body close for a potential entry here would be probably somewhere, yeah, probably above this area, right? And the reason why I'm saying this, let me bang that is in terms of horizontal. In terms of a horizontal, I want to see a candle body close above 0.3, 30 cents there. The reason for this is because you can see this candle body close, nice bit of move to the upside, candle body close, momentum to the upside, candle body close, momentum to the upside. Need I say any more? So first take profit for me, I want to probably have it on the edge of this move, something along the lines of this, because you can see that we have tapped this multiple times and it's very, very achievable in terms of a first take profit. Once we've hit our first take profit, we move our stop loss to our entry point, and that way it's a risk-free trade. In terms of a second TP that I'm looking for, there would be around 0.307, because you can see resistance, 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 support, 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 resistance. You can see it's a very, very crucial correlative area to be looking out for there. So that's one take profit, two take profit, third take profit, clearly at the top side of this box here. Or if you're feeling really fruity, you let it run to about here, right? And then by then you're basically aiming for the completion of the measure move, which would be something along the lines of this, right? So getting in, I like to have like at least 4 TPs when I'm trading, especially pattern breakouts like so, because we know how these patterns work. Usually we do actually get reversed on by the whales, and it is very manipulated. These are the most highly manipulated assets in the world, guys. Let's not forget that. So we need to basically be bracing for all the types of reversals when we're basically going to be counter traded here. So yeah, to reiterate that, 4 TPs, 25% equity at each one. That's sort of my favorite sort of synopsis per trade. Okay. So yeah, that's sort of the strategy I would go for there. But yeah, that's pretty much algo. Yeah, that's pretty much algo. What I would be looking for there. You do still have I think a dragonfly doji coming through there, which is technically bullish. So yeah, that's definitely something to be looking out for there. And after seeing us break this low most recently with this bullish candle, I probably would expect to come up a little bit, set a micro higher low at around 29.7 and test some major moving averages. As you can see, they are currently on the way down here for algo. Yeah, that's what I would say about that. Do we have any more requests in the chat there? Which is better, Gala ADA, Algo, Chester's hat? Love that. I'm going to be voting for my hat there. 1 second. Brilliant stuff there. But yeah, did you want to do TRB? I think we've got a request for in the chat there, Hammy.
That's Teller, right? I believe that's Teller. I'm just looking it up because I've not seen it before. The chart looks amazing, but I wanted to check exactly what it was. So you can see I'm just doing a little bit of reading, just a bit of reading on the side here.
Is it a classic like a FOMO scenario where it's done like 20% of the day and everyone's losing it because they're like, oh my god, I want to get in?
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking like, how can this chart be this bullish? But this chart actually looks very, very different to the buy. What is this? What am I doing? Hang on. Yeah, there we go. To the Bybit chart. So I'm not sure if this is the right chart. Let me know. We'll bring it up on Binance as well. But yeah, this in itself is a very, very bullish chart on Bybit. This is typically what you want to see. Okay, it's a little bit trappy, a little bit choppy on the way up, but the fact that we're just maintaining above all major moving averages on a 12-hour, even on a 4-hour a lot of the time as well, it's pretty nice. Pretty nice. I can't really hate on this. What I would say is if we lose this moving average significantly on a daily, that I would be expecting us to come down to 37 pretty quickly. Just test that like we've done here, right? Like we did here. This is just typical behavior in a bullish trend, but this is a fantastic chart. It's actually quite refreshing to see it. That's why I was looking it up. But we'll check it out on Binance as well, because maybe I'm completely wrong here and it's just a scam coin or whatever. I don't know. Maybe this is the right one. We will check it out. Okay, no, it's still doing it. Maybe Bybit just listed it and it looks a lot more bullish than it is, because you can see here, yeah, it has had a nice rebound. It's doing very, very nicely. Okay, this is a fantastic little bounce towards the upside for sure. But you can see here, yes, it's definitely definitely quite volatile, and it's not really behaving with the rest of the market as much, which can be a good thing, right? Maybe this thing just bangs it up, catches everyone up, and then we go on a huge bull run and it just moons, right? But what I can say here, we are looking at just general things like the volume weighted ATR band here on a daily. We can see that we're actually above that bad boy. We've retested it. We're breaking highs. It's looking pretty good. Okay, I can't really hate on this too much. What I will say though is it hasn't actually spawned on Bybit yet. If we do go back, do I have this on here? Is it this one? Yeah, you can see here that we don't have a volume weighted ATR band on Bybit, and that might not seem significant, that might not seem relevant, but what I've found here with the big exchanges, when that volume weighted ATR band appears, because obviously you need a certain amount of candles for that to happen, to get an average true range, right? So when that appears, typically we will get a pullback to test it on the new exchange. And that's just from my experience. It's not going to be every time, but in altcoin land, I've found this to be something that I keep spotting. It's something that keeps coming up, right? So that's cool. What I will say here, we'll bring it back to Bybit because it's got a little bit more data typically. So yeah, we'll check that out, and we can see here, yeah, we're above that volume weighted ATR band. That's fantastic stuff. We do have quite a lot of resistance ahead of us, but this is actually fantastic. This pump up. I would expect to pull back pretty soon though. So coming back down, testing the price action channel here would make sense. So I'll probably expect actually to test that bad boy as it comes up as well, and as it kind of clashes with that volume weighted ATR band. So if we are looking at that, yeah, about 37, a little test down there would make sense to me. But this thing is just running. I'm pretty impressed with it. And again, very, very refreshing to see a chart like this. We could draw some patterns here. Do we need to? This is banging it. Let's have a look here.
We do have Donna. Donna in the chat is currently in a short position on this asset. I don't know if you wanted to touch on your opinion on that.
Interesting. Yeah, it's an oracle. Yeah, okay. So you're at a short now. What I would say with this is really to question why you shorted, right? I am expecting a pullback. That's true, right? But the fact that we're above all major moving averages and it's continually making higher highs here on a daily rather than, for example, like an hourly where it might be a little bit more flaccid, we can see that yeah, it's definitely something that's a bit more bullish than the rest of the market. So maybe if Bitcoin does dump, and this is technically more volatile because it's doing more swings in either direction in terms of percentages, maybe that short plays out and actually does create more profit than, for example, shorting Bitcoin or something like that that's less volatile. So there is that aspect, and that's respectable and that's justifiable for sure. But what I will say here is just a general rule of thumb for me. And again, if you want to trade your own way, that's cool. But a general rule of thumb for me is to not really find shorts, particularly when we're above all major moving averages on a daily specifically, right? But I mean, we'll see what the hourly looks like as well, right? Because your short might be a short-lived short, right? It could be something you're just scalping down to say like $40 or something, which makes sense, right? We have broken a little bit of structure here. We had a bit of a parabolic curve on the hourly. It makes sense for us to kind of come down and test these areas one more time, as we've just been talking about. So if that's the reason for your short, that's absolutely fine. If you're just expecting this to go to zero, then it's potentially worth rethinking. For example, if you're trying to short down to like $20 or something, right? It could be something that needs rethinking. But typically, it's not too bad. And if you are going for those shorter term trades, I know a lot of Chester's community are a bit more on the scalpy side, which is absolutely fine. Okay, I see a lot of you guys making a lot of money. Then yeah, I would just say, hey, if you are doing that, then keep your targets pretty close and take the profit when you can get it. That's what I would say there. But yeah, this coin typically over the higher time frames looks fantastic, and I would say this is very choppy, of course. So yeah, in choppy times, shorts or longs both work. We've seen that on the Thursday night trade off. Absolutely right. Chester and I taking opposite positions, both hitting profits based on the volatility. So yeah, it's again justifiable why you're doing it, but I would say if it's a long-term play, I would be very, very careful with that. And maybe you're just looking for the retest of this trend line as well, right? Which again, plausible. I would expect it, but sometimes these things do just run. So yeah, watch out for that. My voice is actually beginning to go. So what kind of time? Oh, we got like 7 minutes left anyway. Is there one more coin that we should do here?
Yeah, I was looking at I saw in the chat we saw XRP coming through. So I was looking at just jumping into XRP quickly for the hourly just to end the stream, if that's all good. Maybe I'll probably do like 5 minutes on that, and then you can just do maybe like a little summary on BTC if you fancy it, Hammy. And then also I just want to say, guys, we're 5 subscribers away from 100. 5 away, unbelievable. So thank you ever so much for everyone that has subscribed. It would be absolutely insane if we could hit 100 on this stream. That'd be absolutely insane. So yeah, we'll be looking at that. I see we got UHive social metaverse coming through as well. Interesting marketing ploy there. Probably a very good friend of mine. But yeah, let me let me jump to XRP, and we will do some TA coming through on what we're sort of looking for here for XRP and a potential trade coming through here, guys. So as you can see, starting off straight away, we do have this lovely, juicy, pretty damn attractive parallel channel. In terms of support, this is the sort of level that we are continuously testing here, guys. In terms of a price for that, it is going to be around 33 cents. 33 cents, 33 cents point, 33 cents. God damn. And can't even speak now. We got a volume weighted ATR coming through there as well. As I said, guys, parallel channel coming through. We are still in at that filthy downtrend because obviously it's the bear market. So if we're looking for a breakdown, if we're looking for a pattern trade coming through here, this is the measure move down. This is the percentage that we could be looking for here. Is it going to be really fast? Probably not. The reasoning for this is, guys, the volume weighted ATR band coming down usually comes down something along the lines of this after seeing this price action. So we'll probably do something along the lines of this along it, maybe even a filthy wick to the upside. So if you are going to be looking to trade this, obviously not financial advice at all. What I will be doing, I wouldn't be greedy at all. I'd actually have a really wide stop loss and just be taking profit continuously all the way down, just in case you do get filthy reversed on. Filthy. Filthy girthy reverse. But yes, in terms of the horizontal areas to be looking out for that in this trade, in terms of TPs, I want to be looking for 3-2 in terms of 32 cents. 32 cents. God damn, speak, man. 32 cents and 33 cents is going to be the area I want to see a candle body close to enter this sort of position. 4.48% on the table to be taken there. Not looking too bad here for XRP. So definitely something to really consider here. Your below all major moving averages here as well. Let's have a look at the 3 hour and see what we're working for there. Yeah, still horrifically bearish here. Volume based ATR then coming down as well here on the 3 hour. So that's going to be another potential take profit to be looking out for that. And that's why we need to use all different time frames here, guys, when we're in some sort of position like this. In terms of this candle, in terms of this filthy candle, we do have, you can see the strength on the lower side for the support here. So that's something that we really need to take into consideration there, because if we get a candle body close above, I'd say 33.6 here, I probably would expect some bullish momentum up to around this this key area here, and that's going to be testing the 10 simple on the 4 hour. Okay, so very crucial stuff. It's the most likely scenario, I would say, is to actually have a breakdown here if XRP is going to continue with this micro downtrend here. But please be aware, we can easily find support here. Look at the momentum that we have here. It's still pretty strong, okay? So even coming up, setting a micro higher low at around 34 cents, that's still completely achievable, right? It's completely achievable. And so yeah, that's what I would say about XRP. That's what I would be looking for here on the hourly for the next probably. I mean, it's not going to be a short-lived trade, okay? As I said, we've got the volume weighted ATR band coming down, so it's not going to be short-lived. It's going to be coming down something like this, right? Unless we actually break it with confidence here. Sometimes you can see this when it gets insanely volatile. We actually smash it to the lower side. But when that doesn't happen, guys, we usually find some sort of support or just grind our way along it, okay? Like so here in terms of support. So this is sort of the most common scenario for the volume weighted ATR band here on the hourly. So this is sort of what I would be looking for here if I am going to be looking for this this short position here for XRP. So yeah, that's what I would say about XRP. Obviously not a financial advisor, guys. I see Chester's hat won 35% of that poll. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff, guys. Appreciate it. The reason why I'm wearing a hat, you guys are probably not used to it. Talking about the Crypto Chester community out here, the CC gang here on Telegram. My hair's getting long, okay? It's getting really long. It's I've obviously moved to Thailand. I haven't had a cut since then. So yeah, just gonna flop it back and just do this from now on. So yeah, you're gonna have to get used to it, I think. But yeah, what we talking subscribers? Did we hit the 100? Did we? Well, we gained 1. Appreciate you, that one person that subscribed. 4 subscribers away now. Absolutely insane. I'm gonna throw it to Hamilton of Crypto now for a general summary on Bitcoin. And then also, guys, when we do finish the stream here, I'm going to be doing a complete breakdown of BTC on my channel, Crypto Chester. So you can basically wait for that video if you are going to be trading BTC like throughout the day today, okay? But yeah, gonna throw it to Hammy.
Alrighty, let's get it going. This is going to be the last little summary here. And again, if you are just joining us for the hash ribbons and the epic long signal, I will be explaining that just one more time here for you guys as well. So, yeah, hash ribbons has gone long on most exchanges, okay, except the one that matters, which is CME. All right, and the reason for that is because hash ribbons, and again, this is moving averages of moving average of hash rate. So when these cross towards the upside, now I can't speak, but yeah, now when these cross towards the upside, it's typically a very, very bullish sign. There are endless examples of this being just a ridiculous indication that we're going into not necessarily a bull market, but at least a nice upwards wave. Sometimes as high as I want to say 2,000%, but that was just one run. Right, that was that was this run back here. So yeah, I would say between 80 and 200% is what you can expect if this does typically gonna do a good long signal. It's not always the case, obviously. Sometimes there's 6%, 4% gains, but typically it's a great sign that the market is flipping around. So we'll see how this goes. But CME right now did not actually do it because it's obviously not open on the weekends, right? So yeah, we're going to be waiting for the next day or two or three for these to potentially cross. And when that crosses and when we break significant resistance, again, probably around 25 to 27K, then we're going to be looking for a run as high as even 55K here. And I'm going to show you the current charts of typical exchanges as well, because some people actually disagree with me there. They say CME isn't as valuable as some people think, and they say yeah, there's more money in crypto, in terms of crypto, elsewhere in the normal exchanges, which would put more value on this long signal. But just for the sake of things, we'll do that and just yeah, play it kind of a bit less risky from that sense. So we're not long yet, but we will be taking a long if we do basically start recovering from this point and it looks good. But what I will say here is typically that I'm looking for a bit more of a dump first, and there's a few reasons for that, right? There's a lot of financial problems in the world right now, so yeah, there's a lot of things that could drag us down, specifically areas like China and stuff like that. So if we do want to have a massive wick towards the downside, similar to like the COVID crash or something, right? Yes, I do think Bitcoin recovers first. Yes, I do think Bitcoin goes on a massive run afterwards, but I don't want to be caught in that crossfire. So I'm going to wait for that, and even if we do just trickle up here, I'm still going to be a little bit patient coming through, and again, waiting for that CME to cross as well. But yeah, that's going to be cool. And yeah, if we're going to go down to a lower time frame here for Bitcoin and really just analyze what's going on this 4 hour, oh sorry, not 4 hour, 4 hour now. Okay, cool. On the 4 hour, we can see that we have been wicking towards the downside already. But yeah, what I'd say here is, yeah, 20,600 is where this volume weighted ATR band is, and this is actually such a key area to be watching for either dumps if we lose it, or for pumps if we find it. It's basically a really, really good pivot point for Bitcoin that's fluid and moves based on volume and average true range. So yeah, that's cool. And yeah, that's cool. As soon as we do hit 100 subscribers, guys, as soon as we hit 100 subscribers, I'll be giving away the WOD machine with this indicator, as you can see, to one of you guys for 1 month. So feel free to go do that. And let us know in the Discord if you are one of those subscribers, because yeah, I will pick one of you. Cool. Besides that, massive thank you to all of you that have come out here today. It's been fun. This is actually probably one of our record high viewerships. We've only been doing this like a month or so. This is fantastic. And what I'll say here is, yeah, if you could share this in Telegram groups, and if you're enjoying this, if you want to check out our Thursday night trade-off where we basically take $300 each and we spin it with a bunch of spinny wheels, then yeah, feel free to check that out, because it's super fun. Just dirty, degenerate gambling. We love to do it. High leverage land.
Yeah, it's great fun. I do really enjoy the Thursday night trade-off. And yeah, in terms of BTC updates and streaming, we do Monday, Wednesday here on Decentrahype, and then we do daily updates on BTC on our other channels, which for me, it's Crypto Chester, and for Hamilton, it's Hamilton of Crypto. So make sure you go check them out if you are looking for more daily updates, guys, as well. But yeah, again, thank you ever so much for watching. Do appreciate it. We are going to be wrapping up the stream now, and we will see you again on our own channels, and then also on here on Wednesday, right? Here on Wednesday. We didn't quite get the 100 subs, still 4 away, but there is still time for next time. So do appreciate you guys, and we will see you again on Wednesday.
All right, guys, have a fantastic day. Trade safe out there. Again, be patient, and just play it like a king. Have fun, Kings. I'll see you in the next one. And goodbye from Decentrahype.
Peace.
Peace out.